Okay, so this will be the third video lecture on the unit animal nutrition. So for the first two video lecture, I've talked about the definition of terms. I've introduced the common terminologies that is used when discussing animal nutrition. And then the second video lecture, I've discussed about the elemental composition of the plant and animal tissues, what are the chemical elements, what are the elements per nutrients, and I've also introduced to you what is the proximate composition or proximate analysis. So for this third video lecture, I will be talking about the different classes of nutrients. Okay, so like what I've said, we will talk about the different nutrients natin doon sa feedstuff natin. Okay? Doon sa mga pinapakain natin, doon sa mga animals natin, we have different nutrients. Actually, specifically, we will talk about six six classes of nutrients natin. Okay? So, the six classes ng nutrients natin, first will be the water, then the second will be carbohydrates, third will be protein, fourth are the fats, five is are the vitamins, and then the six is the mineral. Okay? Ulitin ko, laging tatandaan itong six classes of nutrients natin. First will be water, second will be carbohydrates, third will be the protein, fourth are the fats, fifth are the vitamins, and then the sixth one are the minerals. Okay? Water, carbohydrates, protein, fats, vitamins, minerals. Those are our six classes of nutrients that we will be discussing or that I will be discussing. Okay? Okay, so first will be the carbohydrates. So when we say carbohydrates, again, yung diniscuss ko last video lecture, the elemental composition or elements, we have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Okay, laging tatandaan yan. Pag sinabing carbohydrates, yung mga elements niyan, carbon, hydrogen, and then oxygen. So, in the ratio of 1 carbon is to 2 hydrogen is to 1 carbon, 1 oxygen. Okay, so that's your composition of our carbohydrates. Laging tatandaan, CHO. Yan yung carbohydrates natin. Now, on our carbohydrates, diniscuss ko last time also that it will be digested. Itong carbohydrates na to, ang basic unit na will be the sugar. The sugar molecules, you have yung glucose, fructose, and galactose. So, saan galing itong mga glucose, fructose, galactose? Galing ito sa carbohydrates natin na nandoon sa feedstuff natin. These are the most basic units itong mga to. Glucose, fructose, galactose. Meaning, ito yung na-absorb. Itong mga glucose, fructose, galactose, ito yung na-absorb ng animal. Hindi niya kayang i-absorb directly itong carbohydrates, yung mga starches, mga ganon, because they are too big of a molecule, masyadong malaki yung molecule, hindi iya maa-absorb ng katawan ng animal. So, itong carbohydrate na ito na kinuha ng animal, it will be digested, um, it will be mechanically digested and then chemically digested and then eventually it will produce itong mga or it will be broken down into glucose, fructose, or galactose and even other disaccharides basta dapat maliliit na molecules, mas maliit na molecules. Okay? Then, it can be simple sugar. So, itong mga simple sugars natin or itong mga complex na starches, cellulose, glycogen, or even fibrous substances. So, again, ang mga kinakain ng animal, like for example, yung grass na kinakain ng animal, magsisimula yan sa complex na 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 substance or compound. Okay? Then eventually it will lead into a simple sugar. para ma-absorb ng animal. So, ano yung mga main source? Ano yung mga main source ng or ano yung mga main function ng ating carbohydrate? So, yung carbohydrate natin, actually, it is the main source of energy for body function. Okay? Kasi yung glucose na sinabi ko kanina, eventually it will be metabolized into what we call as ATP. Okay, ATP. Ano yung ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. Ito actually yung energy na sinasabi dito. So, lahat ng mga sources ng carbohydrate natin, kahit anong metabolism pa yan pupunta or kahit anong pathway pa yan pupunta, eventually yung end product niya is ATP or adenosine triphosphate, which is the main source of energy. Ang ibig sabihin nito, yung most of our nutrients kasi, especially carbohydrates, protein, fats, they provide energy. Pero yung main source ng energy natin, laging tatandaan, or main source ng energy ng mga animals will be the carbohydrates. Okay? Pero hindi siya yung pinakamataas yung na-produce or hindi siya yung pinakamataas yung binibigay na energy. Actually, yung pinakamataas is fats. Pero si carbohydrate kasi, it is more available, it is cheaper compared sa fat and mas um, mas simpler yung pag-store sa kanya compared sa mga fats. Kaya siya yung naging main source of energy. Okay? Now, aside from that, since it is the main source of energy, it also maintains body heat. Okay? So, yun din yung ginagawa ng ating carbohydrates. And then, aside from that, since carbohydrates have a carbon molecule on it, it can supply also carbon skeletons. Ang ibig sabihin lang nito, for building other nutrients, pwedeng kumuha sa carbohydrates ng carbon molecule or carbon skeleton para gumawa din ng ibang nutrients. Okay? So, yan yung ating carbohydrates when it comes to its function. So, ano yung mga deficiency symptoms na nakikita when it comes to the lack of carbohydrates? So, first will be the weakness and fatigue. Weakness and fatigue. Since sinabi ko kanina na si carbohydrate yung main source of energy, kung wala kang carbohydrates, then you will feel weak. And then fatigue. Fatigue parang mas grabe na na weak. Mas grabe yung um, degree of weakness mo pag fatigue ka na. Kumbaga, basta lagi tatandaan again, since carbohydrate is the main source of energy, pag wala ka nito, then magiging weak ka, magiging fatigue ka, or you will feel fatigue. Then, aside from that, since it is also again the main source of energy, it can also lead to poor growth and body condition pag deficient ka sa carbohydrates. And then, low productivity. So, it all leads to, itong mga to kasi, it all leads to the lack of energy. Wala kang ATP. Low productivity, poor growth and body condition, weakness and fatigue, it all leads to lack of ATP. Walang ATP sa katawan or walang masyadong energy sa katawan. Kaya ganyan yung symptoms. Then in ruminants, it can also lead to what we call as ketosis. Again, it is also a deficiency symptom with the lack of carbohydrates. So yung nakikita dito sa picture, kung makikita, ang payat-payat na nung cattle, and eventually hindi na yan makatayo ng maayos. So that's in ruminants, metabolic disorder with the with the deficiency in carbohydrate, it will lead to ketosis. Okay, next will be the protein. So pag sinabi naman mo protein, it contains the element carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, which is similar to our carbohydrates, pero si protein meron siyang nitrogen. Okay? Or some cases, sulfur or phosphorus. Basta laging tatandaan, yung element niya, most of the time, most of our proteins will be carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Laging tatandaan yan. Okay? So, in order to memorize it easily, CHO, carbohydrates. Lagyan mo lang ng N, that's protein. Okay, laging tatandaan yan. Now, our protein kasi, complex molecule yan. It is a large organic compound made up of amino acid. Anong ibig sabihin yan? You imagine, ito yung protein natin. Itong inaano ko, that's our protein. Yan. You imagine, ganito yung protein natin. So, large molecule, organic compound, complicated, medyo complicated. Yan. Ngayon, itong mga bilog-bilog na to, these are your amino acids. Okay? Or we call AA, sabihin na lang natin AA. Amino acids. Ito yung mga amino acids natin. Okay? So, every circle na nakikita nyo will be your amino acid. And yung mga nagko-connect sa kanila is yung peptide bonds. So, itong nagko-connect na line na ito yung peptide bonds ninyo. Or sabihin na lang natin PB. Okay? So, meaning, pag dinikit mo yung isang amino acid, itong isang amino acid, with a peptide bond sa isang amino acid, and then peptide bonds ulit, and then amino acid ulit, then nakakabuo ka ng protein. So, laging tatandaan, amino acids are the building blocks of protein or the building blocks of life na tinatawag. Okay? Bakit? Kasi protein is a necessary compound, necessary nutrient for a lot of our physiological processes, for our growth, mga ganun, for the growth of the animal, for the productivity of the animal, lahat na ng mga function, bodily function, almost involve yung protein. Okay? And yung mga structure sa katawan, mga organs, more or less may protein yan. Kaya nga, building blocks of life or we can call it as building blocks of protein. Laging tatandaan yan. So, pag tinanong kayo sa exam kung ano yung building blocks ng protein, building blocks of life, then ang isasagot will be amino acid. Okay, so that's our protein. Ngayon, when it comes to the function of our protein, it builds and repair body tissues. Kailangan yan para sa muscle. Kaya nga pag nagpapalaki ka ng katawan, pag nasa gym ka, ang nire-recommend sa'yo is to take protein. Mag-take ka ng protein supplement. Yun yung palaging sinasabi. Bakit? Kasi yung protein is the one that will build up your muscle. Kailangan ng muscle mo ng protein para lumaki. Okay? Then aside from that, kailangan din ng protein for our skin, for the skin of the animal, the feathers, the wool, the horns, all of these are needs protein in order for it to grow, in order for it to para makabuo ka nito. Okay? Aside from that, it also repairs the body tissue. So, yung constant strain, exercise, nagte-tear up, kasla mapertergis na kita muscles. Parang ganun. So, by taking up protein, it helps repair yung tear doon sa muscle, and then it will help grow. Or lalaki yung muscle mo pag nag-take ka ng protein. Ganun yung function niya. Then, aside from that, sinabi ko kanina that protein, ito yung parang kinakailangan sa almost lahat ng mga physiological processes. Kasi nga, yung mga enzymes, yung mga hormones, yung mga antibodies sa katawan actually needs yung protein, or it is made up, not entirely, but it is made up of protein. Kailangan ng protein para makabuo ka ng enzymes, hormones, and antibodies. Itong mga enzymes, important tong na molecule, na compound, na substance. Yung hormones, important din. Yung antibodies, important din. Kung wala itong mga to, then hindi ka magfa-function properly, mamamatay yung animal. So, kailangan ng protein para mabuo ito, and itong mga compounds na ito, kailangan for the proper functioning ng body ng animal. So, ganun ka-importante yung protein natin. Then, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, it also provides energy if carbohydrates and fat supply is low. Pero laging tatandaan, ano yung main source of energy? It will always be carbohydrate. Pero nakaka-provide din ng yung protein ng energy natin. Pero hindi siya yung main source. Pag walang carbohydrates sa katawan, pag walang fat sa katawan, or mababa yung supply ng carbohydrates and fat sa katawan, then the energy is the third option na magpro-provide sa iyo ng the protein is the third option na magpro-provide sa inyo ng energy. Pero again, it is not the main source. Okay? Ang pinaka-function ng ating protein is to build and repair body tissues. Yun yung laging tatandaan. And then as well as to form enzymes, hormones, and antibodies. Ngayon, based on those as functions, then ito naman yung mga um, mangyayari if it is deficient, if yung animal is deficient sa protein. First will be stunted growth and poor weight gain. Kasi nga kailangan ng protein to build up muscle, to grow. So kung wala kang protein, then hindi lalaki na maayos yung animal. Aside from that, since protein is needed for a lot of the enzymes, mga ganun, reduced feed efficiency, hindi nako-convert ng maayos yung kinain ng animal into products, animal products. Okay? So, mas bumaba ba yung productivity ng animal. And then, because of that, it will lead to lower reproduction as well as milk and egg production. Again, milk, egg, kailangan ng protein para mabuo. So, reproduction, kailangan ng protein para maano yung hormones. So, kung wala yung protein, then lower reproduction as well as lower milk and egg production. Then, aside from that, because sinabi ko kanina that it helps build and repair not only muscles but also feather, wool, then kung walang protein, then merong rough coat, poor feather, or wool quality. So, hindi maganda. Hindi maganda yung itsura. Like, for example, itong nasa picture, that's an example of a rough hair coat. Hindi maganda yung itsura ng coat. So, kung makikita sa mga pictures yan, makikita mo naman, ma-observe mo in actual na ano yung mas maganda na hair coat ng isang healthy animal kaysa dun sa animal na talagang lack sa protein. Makikita mo yung difference. Then, aside from that, since protein is also needed for the antibodies, or it is yung antibodies, it is one of the composition is yung protein natin. Pag walang protein, then there is weak immune response. So, yan yung ating protein. Again, CHON, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and then yung building blocks ng protein, we have the amino acids. Pag yung mga amino acids, pinagdudugtong-dugtong mo through the peptide bonds, nakakabuo ka ng protein. And then the protein is the main one that will build up the muscles, helps repair the muscles, mga ganun. And it is a essential component ng mga enzymes, ng mga hormones, ng mga antibodies natin. Okay, so that's our protein. Then next one will be the fats. Ano naman yung fats natin? Yung fats, or what we call as lipids, composed of glycerol backbone plus 3 fatty acids na triglyceride. So, ang ano natin, parang ganito. Ganito yung fats natin. You have glycerol backbone, and then meron kang fatty acid dyan, And then, eventually, you have yung triglyceride dito. Okay? So, that's the structure ng fats natin. Anyway, you are, or hopefully, you are discussing this in your chemistry. So, we will not go into deep discussion about it. Pero yan yung structure ng ating fats or lipids. Ngayon, si fats and lipids natin, it also contains, parang parehas sila nung carbohydrates natin. It also contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Okay? Pero, laging tatandaan, magkakaiba-iba sila ng percentage. Mas lesser yung oxygen ng fats natin compared sa carbohydrates. Laging tatandaan yan. Mas mataas yung oxygen percentage sa carbohydrate compared dito sa fats. Ano yung implication nito? Ano yung implication kung mababa. Mas mababa yung oxygen ni fats. Ang ibig sabihin nito, yung fats natin, it makes it more energy dense. Kasi wala na yung oxygen, so it makes it more, or mas mababa na yung oxygen, so it makes it more energy dense. So laging tatandaan, pag fats natin, it is the, anong tawag nito? Nutrient na merong highest na binibigay na energy. Okay? So, yan yung ating yan yung ating fats. Siya yung pinakamataas yung binibigay ng energy because siya yung pinakamababa yung kanyang oxygen which makes it more energy dense. So, actually, yung fats natin, it will provide, lagi tatandaan itong value na to, 2.75 more energy compared sa carbohydrates and protein. Meaning, ganyan kataas, halos times 3 na mas madaming binibigay na energy si fat compared sa carbohydrates and protein. Pero again, bakit hindi siya yung main source of energy natin? Ang sinabi ko kanina, yung main source of energy natin will be carbohydrate, which is correct. Pero sinasabi ko dito na mas mataas yung binibigay na energy nitong si fats compared sa carbohydrate. So why is that na hindi fats yung main source of energy natin? One thing is fats can be unstable, kumbaga, madaling mapanis yung feeds kung masyadong marami yung fats. That's one thing. So, in an economic standpoint, hindi naman gusto ng isang feed manufacturer na madaling mapanis yung feeds niya. Kaya nililimit yung fats, kaya hindi siya yung main source of energy. Aside from that, mahirap or mas um, hindi available, hindi siya masyadong available compared sa carbohydrates. Kaya mas mahirap ma-procure, mas mahirap na kumuha ng fat source compared sa carbohydrate source na mga ingredients. And then aside from that, I think mas mahal din yung mga fats natin na uh, fat source, lipid source na energy na na feedstuff compared doon sa energy source na feedstuff. Okay? Kaya yun yung mga reason why we are limiting yung use ng fat doon sa mga feeds natin. So yan. And then it can also be saturated. Yung fat natin can be saturated or unsaturated. Anong ibig sabihin ng saturated? Anong ibig sabihin ng unsaturated? Kung makikita dito sa picture, lahat ng itong mga carbon na ito, merong nakadikit na hydrogen. Okay? Kung makikita, yung carbon na ito, merong nakadikit na hydrogen on both the upper and lower part, on both sides, sabihin na lang natin. So that is saturated. Saturated meaning, basahin mo yung isang tissue paper, pag nabasa lahat, that is saturated. Ganon din yung saturated fatty acid. Lahat ng part ng fat or yung lipid, merong nakadikit na hydrogen. So, that is why it is called saturated fatty acid. Okay? Pero kung titignan dito sa unsaturated fatty acid, merong parts na walang hydrogen. Walang hydrogen dyan, and then wala ding hydrogen dito. So unsaturated siya kasi may mga parts doon sa kanyang structure na walang nakadikit na hydrogen. Okay, that's the difference between saturated and unsaturated fatty acid. Ngayon, bakit ba inintroduce to or bakit ba sinabi ko ito? Another difference pala is that yung kung titignan yung bond nila, single bond lang. Pag sa saturated fatty acid, isa-isa lang yung bonds. Pero pag sa unsaturated fatty acid, makikita mo meron kang double bond. Ganon yung another difference between saturated fatty acid and unsaturated fatty acid. So, again, bakit ko ba sinasabi ito? Usually kasi, when it comes to nutrition or when it comes to the health, especially tayo, we should be aware kung anong type of fat or fatty acid yung kinakain natin. Kung ano yung mas mataas yung fatty acid. Pag saturated fatty acid kasi, solid. Bakit siya solid? Kasi stable siya. Wala kang makikitang gap in between the structure. Kasi nga saturated na siya ng fatty acid, ng hydrogen. Pag dito sa unsaturated fatty acid kasi, meron kang gaps dyan. So, medyo unstable yung fatty acid, kaya nagiging liquid. Ito, solid to. Ngayon, um, pag tinanong kung ano yung mas healthier option, ang dapat na sagot will be unsaturated fatty acid. Usually kasi yung unsaturated fatty acid, ito yung mga um, galing sa plant sources, while yung saturated fatty acid galing yan sa animal sources. And aside from that, like for example, kung kumakain ka ng chicharon, ng mga matatabang pagkain, usually it is high in saturated fatty acid yan. Kaya you are prone to heart attack, mga ganun, compared pag yung kinakain mo is yung mga plant sources, mas healthier option na mas mataas yung unsaturated fatty acid. Okay, so yan yung difference between saturated fatty acid and unsaturated fatty acid. Ngayon, ano yung function? So, sinabi ko kanina na yung function ng ating fat or lipids, it provide concentrated energy. Laging tatandaan yung value na 2.75. So, more or less 2 to 3 times more than carbohydrates. Yan, 2.75. So, it supplies essential fatty acids, and then aids in the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Itong A, D, E, K, or ADEK, vitamin ADEK, these are your fat-soluble vitamins, and hindi sila naa-absorb pag tubig lang. So, kailangan ng fat para ma-absorb yung itong mga fat-soluble vitamins natin. Okay? And then, improve feed palatability. So, ano nga ba again yung palatability? Palatability more or less is the degree on which the feedstuff is accepted by the animal. Parang ganun. Mas palatable. Hindi naman necessary um, na naimas, delicious, yung pagkain, pero the degree of acceptance, parang ganun. Ito, okay ito para sa akin, parang ganun. So, yun yung palatability, and it will improve yung palatability. Mas gustuhin na kumain yung animal nitong ganitong klase ng feedstuff kung merong fats or merong sufficient amount of fats. Okay, so that is the function ng these are the functions ng fats natin. Ngayon, ano yung deficiency symptoms pag kulang sa fat? So first will be slow growth and poor feed efficiency. Parehas sila ng carbohydrates and protein, reduced reproductive performance, dry scaly skin, poor hair feather quality, tulad ng nasa picture. And then, since sinabi ko kanina or sinabi ko sa function that it aids in the absorption ng ating fat-soluble vitamins, it will impair the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins natin or yung vitamin addict natin. Because kung wala, hindi ma-absorb. Kung wala yung fats, hindi ma-absorb properly itong mga vitamins na ito. Okay? Okay, so we go now sa mga vitamins naman natin. So tapos na natin sa carbohydrates, protein, and fats. So, ito naman, vitamins natin, organic compounds sila needed in minute amounts. Ang ibig sabihin niyan, ang ating vitamins, hindi siya ganun um, when it comes to the amount na kailangan ng animal, mas konti lang yung binibigay mo na vitamins. Pero it does not necessarily mean na hindi siya important. Ang ibig sabihin lang yan, hindi kailangan ng madamihan ng animal ng vitamins compared sa protein, sa fats, and sa carbohydrates natin. Pero again, they are um, important. They are equally important. Okay? So, organic compound sila. Yung mineral, inorganic. Si vitamins, organic compounds. Okay? So, laging tatandaan, si vitamins, it is not an energy source. So, meaning, um, hindi siya nakakapag-provide ng um, substantial amount of energy na pwedeng sabihin na energy source siya. But, it is essential for metabolic regulation. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Yung mga processes sa katawan ng animal, kailangan ng mga vitamins yan in order to work properly. Without vitamins, nagkakaroon ka ng metabolic disorder na tinatawag or metabolic disease. Oftentimes kasi, when it comes to vitamins, parang ano lang yan, hindi siya ganun ka-importante, especially sa mga ordinary farmers. Pag merong umusbong na sakit doon sa animal, ang unang iisipin is, ay baka it is caused by bacteria, it is caused by virus, baka na-infect, mga ganon, yung unang iisipin ng farmer. Pero hindi niya iniisip na baka yung sakit na yon, it is caused by vitamin deficiency or mineral deficiency. Because oftentimes, farmers overlooked itong vitamin na to, itong nutrient na to when it comes to feeding, when it comes to providing nutrients to their animals. Okay? Pero again, it is important na bigyan mo ng vitamins yung mga animals mo. Now, we have classification. We have classification ng vitamins. You have fat-soluble vitamins as well as water-soluble vitamins. So when we say fat-soluble vitamins, ito yung mga sinabi ko kanina, ADEK. Laging tatandaan, madali lang naman matandaan. Vitamins A, D, E, K, ADEK, those are your fat-soluble vitamins. So, ang mga fat-soluble vitamins natin, it is stored in body fat longer and then longer lasting kasi nga nai-store yan sa fat natin, sa body fat natin. While water soluble, ito yung mga B complex from B1 to B12 and then yung vitamin C natin. So it is not stored and needed daily. Anong pagkakaiba nito? Pag sinabi kasing water soluble, naisasama yan. Madaling matanggal yung water soluble through the urine which you can observe pag nag-take ka ng vitamins and then yung pag umihi ka, no, umisbo ka, kulay orange or kulay yellow na or orange or naya-yellow J-isbom compared sa normal. That is because naisasama yung water-soluble vitamins natin, itong B complex and vitamin C. So, pag naisasama, natatanggal sa body, then you should take vitamin B complex daily. You should take water-soluble vitamins daily kasi madaling matanggal. Whilst for fat-soluble vitamins, not necessary na bibigyan mo siya daily kasi nga nai-store naman siya sa fat. Okay, laging tatandaan yan. Ngayon, when it comes to the function, it regulates metabolic processes. Tulad ng sinabi ko, hindi siya nagpo-provide ng energy pero kailangan yan sa different processes sa body. Ano yung mga yon? Like for example, sa vision, sa bone growth, sa blood clotting, vitamin K is needed for that, reproduction, immunity, lahat yan are mga metabolic, mga processes sa body that needs itong mga vitamins natin. Then aside from that, it works with enzyme as coenzymes. So basically, it is needed by the vitamins are essential components ng mga enzymes natin. So Yan yung function ng ating vitamins. So when it comes to deficiency, madami actually. So again, yung ine-emphasize ko kanina, do not overlook vitamins as well as minerals when it comes to deficiency. So like for example, when it comes to diseases, when it comes to diagnosing the diseases, kasi more oftentimes, yung mga nakikita nating disease or disorder doon sa mga alaga natin, maybe it is because of vitamins deficiency, vitamin deficiency, or mineral deficiency. So like for example, pag sa vitamin A, night blindness, reproductive failure. So kung makikita sa picture, that is considered as a symptom of night blindness, kulang yan ng vitamin A. Vitamin D, rickets, weak bone, poor eggshell quality. Basically, it revolves around um, ano yan, parang vitamin D is needed kasi for the uptake ng calcium. So kung walang vitamin D, mahihirapan i-absorb yung calcium, then it results sa mga rickets, weak bones, poor eggshell quality. Then vitamin E, white muscle disease, reproductive problems, vitamin K, hemorrhage, or poor clotting because vitamin K is for needed for blood clotting. Then yung mga vitamin B complex natin from B1 to B12, general deficiency symptoms include poor growth, nervous disorders, and appetite loss. So those are your deficiency symptoms naman when it comes to B complex. And then sa vitamin C, you have scurvy, uh, especially those species that cannot synthesize it. May scurvy ka na, uh, uh, or may scurvy na magmamanifest doon sa animal. Okay? So, yan. Ito is yung parang, anong tawag nito? Parang rickets or weak bones doon sa animal natin. Itong nasa picture. So, one thing is that it is baka yung pag tinitignan kasi ng farmer, baka sabihin na ay baka merong siyang sugat or natukulisa ka na, pero in reality, it is the lack of vitamin D. Okay? Then ito naman is vitamin E. Lack of vitamin E, ito nasa right side, ito yung white muscle disease na tinatawag. So it can cause white muscle disease if deficient ka sa vitamin E. Then aside from that, some weak bones natin, that is because of the um, lack of vitamin D. So kung makikita in a parang in-person na pag-observe, parang ay hindi naman ata to baka hindi isipin ng farmer na deficient sa vitamins. Baka yung unang isipin ng farmer is baka merong injury or merong um, sakit that is caused by bacteria, mga ganun. So, hindi niya agad maisip na baka deficient siya sa vitamin. So, kailangan talaga na you should include when it comes to diagnosing diseases, yung vitamin, yung mga vitamin deficiency symptoms. Then, when it comes to our mineral, so pag yung sa vitamin, it is organic, itong minerals naman natin, they are inorganic elements. So they have no carbon. So we have here the macro minerals as well as micro minerals or trace minerals. Basically, ang pagkakaiba lang nito, ang macro minerals, it is needed in larger amounts, while yung micro minerals, they are needed in trace amounts only. Ang tanong, ano yung mas important dito? Wala. They are equally important. Macro mineral man yan or micro mineral man yan, they are both important for the proper functioning ng body ng animal. Pero yung pagkakaiba lang, si macro, mas Si macro mineral, mas madami yung dapat mong ibigay or it is needed in larger amount, while si micro mineral, it is only needed in trace amount. Okay? So yan. Ngayon, yung function ni mineral, form the body structure. So, like for example, calcium, phosphorus, kailangan yan for the bones, the teeth, the horns, the shell. So, it will form the body structure. Maintain osmotic balance. You have yung sodium, mga ganon. Nerve conduction and muscle contraction. So, calcium ulit, nandun for the muscle contraction. Then, act as a cofactor in enzymes and hormones. Like, for example, iodine and thyroxine. So, those are the functions ng ating mineral. Now, when it comes to the deficiencies of symptoms, pag deficient ka, like for example, sa calcium and phosphorus, you will have weak bones, rickets, milk fever, all of this because of the lack of calcium or phosphorus. Pag sa iron naman, anemia, pale mucous membrane, which is you can observe directly pag tinaas mo yung muzzle nung like for yung snout or yung muzzle ng isang animal, and then makikita mo dun sa parang gums niya na pale, then it can be an indication that the animal is anemic or merong anemia. Okay? Then, pag iodine naman, goiter yung mangyayari. So, dito sa picture na to, mag-enlarge thyroid because of goiter, which is because of the lack of iodine. Then, selenium, pwedeng white muscle disease or poor immunity. And then, in general, pag lack of mineral, talagang poor growth, low productivity. Tulad ng vitamins, minerals are also often overlooked when it comes to disease diagnosis. Kasi nga, um, hindi mo naman agad maiisip na ay it is caused by mineral deficiency, ay it is caused by iodine deficiency, it is caused by vitamin deficiency, mga ganon. Pero again, ina-emphasize ko ito kasi most of the metabolic disorders, parehas lang sila ng symptoms ng mga bacterial diseases caused by bacteria or viruses. So, it is necessary na tignan yung nutrition ng animal ay baka hindi ko pa siya sinusupplementan ng mineral, hindi pa ako nagbibigay na nagtuturok ng vitamins na to. So baka deficient dito sa vitamins na to, kaya meron siyang disorder na ganito. Okay? Ganon yung mga vitamins and minerals natin. They are they are needed in the body of the animal in minute amounts. Maliit lang yung amount sa kailangan, pero they have important function, equally important function um, tulad ng mga other nutrients natin. Okay? Then, the last one will be the water. So, sa water naman natin, simple compound of hydrogen, H2, and then oxygen, H2O. So, hydrogen, dalawang hydrogen, and then you have your oxygen. So, yung water natin makes up about 60 to 70% of the animal's body weight. So, ano yan? Maraming tubig sa katawan. Pero as we grow older, mas kukunti yung tubig sa katawan. Ganun yung ano ng water. So, yung water constantly lost through urine, feces, sweat, and respiration. So, lumalabas yung tubig dito sa mga to. Ngayon, yung water kasi, um, some may not consider it as a nutrient kasi nga, when it comes to water, it is the cheapest. Why cheapest? Kasi may mga available sources ka, readily available sources, drinking water, pwede rin yung water coming from yung mga kinakain nila na forages, pwede rin yung water na nandun sa feeds mismo. So madami kang sources of water. And it is often overlooked na binibigay doon sa mga animals yung tubig. Pero it is necessary na bigyan mo ng tubig because this is still one of the essential nutrients na kailangan ng animal. So, ano nga ba yung function niya? So, it will transport medium for nutrients and waste. Kung walang walang tubig, hindi hindi ma-absorb properly yung mga nutrients natin aside from fats. Then, regulates body temperature. So, water is necessary for thermoregulation, aids in digestion and absorption. So, kailangan ng tubig when it comes to digesting yung feed na kinain and then sa pag-absorb ng mga nutrients. And then, lubricates joints and other organs. Then, tulad ng mga sinasabi nung high school tayo, water is a universal solvent. So, kailangan yan ng lahat ng mga processes sa body natin. Most of the processes sa body natin, merong to involve yung H2O. So, ganun ka-importante yung water. Tulad nga ng sinasabi nila, you can live without eating food for days, pero pag hindi ka nakainom ng tubig for how many hours lang, pwede kang mamatay. Ganun ka-importante yung tubig. Okay? Kaya, pag deficient sa tubig, then nare-reduce yung feed intake. Bakit nare-reduce yung feed intake? More, like for example, na-experience na ninyo to, pag makainom ka launa yun, tapos pinakanda kang tubig lang, medyo hang kang excited, medyo hang kang nga ma-encourage nga mangan kasi nga makain-inom ka. Ganon din sa mga animals natin. Nung makain-inom di animal, haan nga mangan deta or nare-reduce yung feed intake niya kasi nga makain-inom. Narigat iti mangan nga makainom. Then aside from that, it can cause rapid weight loss, dehydration, which is usually through sunken eyes, dry skin, thickened blood, poor circulation, and then yung worst of all sa is death if dehydration is prolonged. Or kung hindi ka nakainom talaga or hindi nakainom yung animal ng tubig for how many hours, then pwede niya ikamatay. Okay? So that is our water. So with that, that ends our discussion in the classes of nutrients. So I hope that you will remember the 6 classes of nutrients natin as well as yung mga function and mga composition nila, structure nila, and yung mga deficiency symptoms nila. So if you have any question, then please feel free to message me. Then thank you for listening.